Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review a small indie film called The Lovers. And this film was directed and written by Azazel Jacobs, and it is about this couple who are each having an affair on each other, but not really super happy with those affairs and might wind up falling back in love. And this is a quirky, interesting film that takes a very different look at a romance drama because especially where you're put into this film by the story is you're starting this film where they're already having affairs, but they're already having problems in those separate relationships, and then these two characters feeling like, hey, we're both unhappy in relationships and we have that connection with each other without explicitly talking about it. Now, Azazel Jacobs does a very good job of bringing this film together. It has a very solid tone that goes throughout this film. It has an odd, offbeat sense of humor about it, and that was one of the most positive things about this film. It made it feel like I never was not engaged or interested in what was going on because how these characters interacted, especially the husband, who was very offbeat and odd, especially with his performance, and I'll get to that in a minute. But how this film was focusing on these relationships was interesting. And from an emotional standpoint, you do really get to hit some emotional moments in this film and feel some things and dealing with these very complex relationships. I do have to say that this film felt it drag a bit in certain parts, and it did feel longer than this film wasn't even, I don't even think, an hour and 40 minutes, but it did feel a little bit longer, especially towards finding its focus. And that's where some of the writing is a hindrance to this film, is you don't exactly know where this is going until you get some points where it's like you're starting to build to a certain thing, but are you ever going to get there? What's going on here? And when it comes to the characters, the two main characters, the husband and wife, are very interesting characters, and I felt engaged and interested in what was going on in their lives because I thought they were interesting. That being said, their two relationships, I didn't really feel a connection to these two affairs going on because you're at a point where it's already not going well and you don't get why they're together to begin with. Why are you cheating with your spouse with this person? You don't see that connection until well probably into halfway through the film, and you're sitting there like, I don't give a crap about that affair, that relationship, because you don't really see anything. And I felt like the two adults that they're having these affairs with don't feel very fleshed out or interesting, and you don't make a connection with them either. And that's disappointing. So, but the relationship that hangs and keeps this whole film together is this husband and wife. And they are interesting together. They're interesting apart as characters, and what's going on between them develops and is interesting. Now, from a cinematography perspective, Tobias Datum did the cinematography for this. This is such a well put together, well shot film. There's certain scenes where, one particular scene where the husband's talking on the phone to his lover and trying to play off that he has other plans and stuff and pretending to talk to other people. That whole entire sequence was so well shot and was a real standout to me in terms of the scene, using camera work and framing the scene and where the character lies within this environment. And a lot of that really stands out in this film with the camera work and the framing and how they use the technical aspects of this film to make a very engaging and engrossing environment. Now, Mandy Hoffman, who was the composer for this film, the music was very well done to it, and I rather enjoyed that, and it really helped build up the film and elevate some scenes, which was really, really nice. When it comes to the acting in this film, it's a bit hit or miss to me. And Deborah Winger does a fantastic job as the wife. I thought she was very good all the way through. Now, she, I feel like, is a little less focused than the husband, played by Tracy Letts. And his choices as an actor are very, very interesting, which makes his character very quirky. And I can see where it was off putting to some people, but for me, I thought he became the most interesting and engaging character because of how he interacted with people. And the choices he made you question, what's he going for here? What's he thinking? What's he doing? And that made it very engaging and made me want to continue to watch. So I thought he was very engrossing and was a real standout of this film. Now, Melora Walters did who plays his lover doesn't, I don't feel like, has a whole lot to go with in this film in terms of personality, and she's basically just told to go out there and act crazy and be a stereotypical crazy lady. And I felt bad because that didn't really give her a chance to really like stand out as a character in this film or from a performance perspective. The one performance I was really disappointed was Aidan Gillen from Game of Thrones, who plays Littlefinger, and I actually rather enjoy him in a lot of things. And he had a horrible accent that was extremely inconsistent in this film, and also he didn't really stand out that much, and I thought that his accent was really distracting and took away from his line reading and him actually performing as this character, and that was pretty disappointing. In general, I didn't have huge expectations going into The Lovers. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was engaging all the way through, and I would I would recommend this film. I don't think it's the greatest of films, but if you want to go out to see something a little quirky and a little different when it comes to romance, I would definitely suggest The Lovers. I'm going to give it a B minus.